One. What's up, Western Iowa Tech community students? Western Iowa Tech Community College. Again, this is our weekly thing right here. We got Teresa and we got Michelle. What's up, ladies?
Hello.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Michelle.
That is what's up, you know. Amen. Morning to the students. How's y'all's, since we talked, what's been going on?
Moving right along, 1 week at a time, right? 1 day at a time. That's what I keep telling everybody.
Yeah.
It's good, though. I think overall, people are slowly accepting that this is our reality for a while, and they're settling into online learning, both the faculty and the students. So that's been a big hurdle for everyone across the board, for sure.
Yeah.
And you, Michelle, how about you?
I'm noticing the same thing. I've had a couple students that I've worked with this week already with instructors, and they're bringing their grades up. I just want to reiterate again from last week, communicate, communicate, communicate. Contact me, contact Teresa, contact your instructors. And the instructors have been in contact with us, you know, so it's a three-way street per se, that it's working really well. And I'm noticing my students, like I said, a couple students that I worked directly with, their grades are going up. It's Thursday, just in 4 days, their grades have gone up. Yeah. So just continue to communicate with all of us, including your instructors.
Now, I think it's good to point out good and bad, right? So if you're surprising yourself with your ability to adjust, let your instructor know that they're doing a good job of keeping you informed. And if you're having trouble, own up to that as well. It's never too late, right? We're being really flexible as a college, and we're going to make this semester successful.
And I believe talking to each other, students and instructors, and patting each other on the back, that's a positive confirmation that we're going in the right direction. Now, I'm just assuming this, you guys. I know there's more obstacles with students with doing this from home. And I'm only assuming that there's more obstacle for you ladies as well, right? So has your workload changed a little bit or what? I know mine has a little bit. You know, it seems like I'm struggling with some of the changes, right? But it seems like it's more difficult to me at home than just being in my office. That was just so, you know, comfortable, right? And now I'm not there and I'm kind of dealing with that.
I tell you what, I've become a regular IT genius. No, not really. But I haven't bothered IT in 2 weeks, so I feel like I'm really gaining ground.
Well, then we've tag teamed because I've been
bugging
them every day this week. I barely made it onto the Zoom meeting, you guys. So, struggles and obstacles that our students are experiencing, I understand. We all understand. We're all going through it. And I think I said that on our first interview. We're all in this together. The teachers are struggling. The students are struggling. Us employees are struggling. We all understand. So I don't want our students to feel like they're alone in this, because they're not at all. So Teresa, what you've turned over your time with IT, now I'm taking it up because I'm having a terrible technical.
IT a lot of credit. They're being very helpful. They're extremely patient. They'll just work with me until I figure it out, and thank God, because the first couple of weeks were pretty hairy, but I feel like we got a handle on it now.
So shots out to IT department, Mike Logan, Heath, right? You know who you are. I think Matt Lebowski. So shots
James
out
has
to
been
them
working
folks.
with me. James and Rochelle have been awesome.
Rochelle,
they're all good.
Yeah, Rochelle Green. That's what's up. What's up, Rochelle, if you're listening to this? Keep doing what you're doing.
Don't miss me too much. I'll be back soon enough.
I'd love to turn it over to you, Teresa.
So Teresa, in fact, let's do that. Let's turn this over to Teresa, because Teresa came up with an awesome idea on how we can. I'm just gonna give it to her. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give it to Teresa, and she's gonna talk about it.
Okay, so each of us got into our professions for one reason or another, right? That we understand and feel like we can relate to what we do every day, all day for a living. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if we each shared some of our own personal struggles, things that we struggle with, and then what we do to cope with it, right? So those coping skills can be simple, free, cheap, small. They can be bigger, they can be active, they can be idle things that you can do. But just, I thought it'd be fun if each of us talked a little bit about ourselves and how we cope with some of our own struggles.
Nice. So you guys, panic attacks, right? When I was at in my undergrad, no, it was after grad school. So I was in school for like 8 years, nothing but classes, right? And then when I graduated, it all stopped, right? I matured a little bit, so I wasn't quite, I wasn't doing crazy stuff like I was when I was a freshman. But it was just different, right? And that was my first experience with a panic attack, right? And I have panic attacks at least twice a year, right? And it could be, it could be when I'm in my car, and I've been to the hospital before just because I felt like my heart was gonna freaking explode, right? And I like to consider myself an entrepreneur, so I dabble in things outside, and that is stressful, especially when you can't control
Other people.
what. Yeah, and the same kind of things with students. We can tell students all day, you need to do this, but they're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? And that's stressful for me. So y'all, I have panic attacks here and there, So that was mine.
Well, and I'll just piggyback that, because I've only had a panic attack once in my life, but I have anxiety and I have ADHD. I'm very forward and upfront with that with my students with disabilities. I have disabilities, and a lot of us do. It's normal. In fact, I don't even look at it as disabilities. I love to state it as giftedness. We just have learning differences,
Right.
and we have giftedness that comes with this. But mine's ADHD, and anxiety for me and for most of my students that I've met with ADHD, anxiety and ADHD go hand in hand. So for me, sleeping, for a lot of our students, insomnia with ADHD is very, very typical. And now with this online learning also, ADHD is it makes it a little harder because of our time management, our motivation, our distractibility. I'm going to, real quick, can I throw this out real quick, you guys?
Yeah.
I ran across something this from my colleagues nationally, and I want to mention this. For Mac systems, and here's my computer skills, for the laptops that we got, Mac Apples or Mac Airs, whatever they are, there is a free program called Mercury. You can go to mercury.com, and you can download it, and it'll help you so that you can close out all of the pop-ups. You can change your screen color. You can change your font color. It'll actually clean up. They called it a cleanup system, so that it'll clean up all of those things that are distracting or can cause distractions while you're online and with online learning. So that's mercury.com, and it's free, and it's put out by Mac and by Apple, so it's compatible for our laptops, our students' laptops. And that I really thought of all of myself included. I kind of wanted to take the time to play around with it this week, because I want to just see how it works, because like I said, distractibility. They're saying even the eye strain. There's nationally, there's a report now of students reporting to disability offices, headaches, migraines, that type of thing. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. The mercury.com, and it's free.
It is
Give it a try.
Yeah.
So back on my anxiety and ADHD, there's a lot of things that we can do, and my students and I talk about it extensively, because what I learned from my students, I can share with other students. Coping mechanisms that everyone uses are coping mechanisms that might not have been thought of by somebody else. So it's really a whole learning and sharing experience. So thanks for allowing us to do it today, because I hope that I can help someone today with my experience. So, and we'll go into coping mechanisms, I'm assuming.
Yes, next, after Teresa spills the beans on herself.
Sorry. Got to get me talking about my anxiety, and I'll go on forever. Sorry about that, guys.
There's her ADHD showing through right there.
I know, right? Only I would get excited about anxiety. Yeah.
So I would say that for me, anxiety is definitely something I've had probably since I became a mom, more so. That's probably when I saw it most evident. Probably had it in college, but back then I was kind of a screw up. So I covered it up with all my other antics and playing around. But so I thought I should clarify too the difference between anxiety attack and panic attacks, right? So anxiety is more of an ongoing chronic state of thinking and overthinking to the point that it's worrisome, right? It's burdensome to think that much all the time, right? Where panic attacks, while their root is in anxiety, panic attacks spike. They spike real fast and they become so intense that their physical symptoms are intense. Like when you describe feeling like you're going to have a heart attack and that kind of thing. So they're intense. They don't last as long. So they're not as chronic as ongoing anxiety, right?
Right.
But regardless, they're all kind of a nuisance, right? And they can be really distracting if you're a
Very
student or
disruptive.
a mom or a husband or a wife or whatever, right? So coping skills, to clarify too, are things you probably have done all your life and didn't know that that's what they were called. So coping skills is just kind of a therapeutic way of how do you deal? That's basically what I want to know. How do you deal with whatever it is your burden is, right? So when I mentioned anxiety, I too probably have it the most at nighttime. So with anxiety, you wear your symptoms on the outside. You fret, but you might have high heart rate, racing thoughts, muscle tension, that kind of thing, all day long. So for me, I can fall asleep at the drop of a hat, right? Sit down to watch a movie, I'm out. But I'm the first one awake at 2:00 in the morning. Right? 2, 3, 4, right? So I have it more evident in the nighttime, and probably because I'm more silent about my anxiety. I talk about it all day with other people and their anxiety, but for me, it's usually got to get pretty high before I share it. And I have a great husband and 4 adult daughters who listen to me, and they're probably my best coping mechanism, for one. And then I'll just go right into mine too, right? So I'll just share my other coping mechanisms. I love being active. Because I sit maybe all day doing therapy, when I get a chance, I'm up and out of the chair. So that's how I cope. And probably my favorite coping mechanism is CrossFit. I do CrossFit in Sioux City. I go every morning at 5:15 in the morning. Well, not right now. And that's been a real loss for me, not being able to go to my gym. Mostly because, not that I'm a great CrossFit athlete, because I'm not, but I like the people and I like the opportunity to compete. And I work out better if I'm with somebody who's kind of pacing me, right? I'm the slow pace car. They're the fast pace car. We all got a role to play, right? So missing that is really been a challenge. So what they let us do was they let us bring equipment home. So there's all my toys, right? That's what I do. And our gym is sending us out workouts every day. And so we do a little WOD, is what you call it, workout of the day in the morning, and I get it over with.
Does the dog do it with you?
Yeah, my dog, that's our other coping skill. That's Frankie, right? And then my other active coping skill is I'm a cleaner. When I'm cleaning, I'm in my element, whether it's outside cleaning up my yard or cleaning up my house. That for me is very therapeutic. Give me a nasty closet, I'll clean it out in a minute. Well, that's what I like to do. Yeah. So that's one of mine. Just being active, cleaning, exercising, outdoors. Love, love, love being outside. I'm a sun goddess. So
that's
those
what's
are mine.
That's what's up. So you guys, I guess one of them would be definitely walking, but I can't seem to lose any weight, but it does relieve stress. So me and my wife walk at nighttime. And then I also, when we were at work, I walked with a guy named John Potash every night, and so shouts out to John. My next one is sneaker collection, right? Sneakers. Right? So I'm just going to grab one. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I never knew what all of that was stacked behind you, Mike. Oh my goodness.
Shoes. Jordan, and on top of it, Jordans. Yeah.
Lovely.
And these are the Bread 11s, which just dropped maybe, I don't know, right around Christmas. And they sold out in probably 7 minutes online.
Oh my goodness.
And thank God I buy shoes at, I can't tell where because they're not supposed to do some of those things, but I get them to hold my pair. right? So once you go in there and you buy and they know you're going to buy, right? They put, especially the big releases, they'll put my size 12 aside, right? And so that's what I also do a lot of artsy-wartsy stuff. And again, you guys, this is with sneakers. This is an Air Force One that I decorated. It's called Cartoon.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so it looks like it was, and I posted this on Facebook not too long ago, of it being a white sneaker at first, and then I taped it off, and then I started painting. So it's like, it's called Cartoon. But anyway.
How long would a pair of a shoe like that, how long would that take you to paint?
It took me with drying everything and probably like 4 coats. 4 days, probably 2 days a shoe. And that's working maybe on a Saturday and a Sunday, playing hooky from church. Right? So yeah, I've been a sneaker collector for a long time. And you guys, I collect a lot of stuff. Baseball cards, football cards, Legos,
Cool.
Especially my childhood friends. This is what I call them, right? Childhood friends. So that's mine.
Items that spark joy is what it's called.
Amen.
From Marie Kondo. Yeah, items that spark joy. And one thing that we haven't talked about, and I don't think we're going to go there, but we want to be careful too, because Teresa's the expert. But I feel like there's negative coping skills too.
Amen.
And what we're discussing is positive coping skills. Positive coping skills. My students and I have been very honest about negative coping skills too, and things that we have to be careful of. But today is positive. I am not outdoorsy, you guys. I am not a sun goddess. I do not like being outside. I don't like bugs. I don't like sweating. I don't like any of that stuff. You guys all sound great. It's
well said, Michelle. Well said.
To each his
So
own.
what I like doing, yeah, that's right. So my coping mechanisms, and I tell my students, I'm 57 and I'm still working on this. You know what I mean? I don't think we ever arrive by achieving, and we have to accept it's who and what I am. I am, everyone who knows me, I am very hyper and outspoken, and I talk fast and I talk loud and I interrupt and I all of this, and I don't mean to, but it is who and what I am, and that's my personality. And I think we have to start loving ourselves first, and accepting ourselves for who and what we are. But some of the things that, because mine's anxiety all day long, all the time, 24/7, breathing. And because I'm talking so fast and so much, I don't breathe. So I really need to make sure, and I learned something, it's from the Navy SEALs, that it's that they use for, this sounds terrible, but they use it for interrogation techniques, I guess, to be, if you're ever being interrogated or tortured, which I feel like anxiety is sometimes, my students and I, you breathe for 4, you hold for 4, you exhale for 4, and then you hold for 4. You know what I mean? So it's a count of 16, right. And it's 4 in, out, in, hold, out, hold, in, right. Out, for count of 4. That helps me tremendously. For one thing, to shut up, Michelle, slow your mind down, close your mouth, breathe, and then it helps me to focus and to concentrate. It really helps me at night. I do it a lot in bed. I'm opposite of Teresa. I can't fall asleep. I'll be up and
kind of froze.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
I would just pick up on where Michelle's at, though. So the thing about anxiety symptoms, right, is that need for oxygen, however you're going to get it. So the beauty thing is oxygen is free, right? So it doesn't cost us anything. Oxygen's free. So breathing is free, right? Exercise can come in all different types, too. So just the mere act of going for a walk makes all the difference, because what you're trying to do with that oxygen is alter that chemical balance in the brain, so that you have less
and you deep breathe
and more able to
yeah. And yoga has really helped me too. So, and I love yoga because I don't like to sweat. I don't like being outside. I don't like it. And yoga's free too if you've got YouTube. You know what I mean? So you can go on YouTube. I love yoga. Yoga's my thing. I love yoga. There again, vinyasa. teaches you to breathe.
Right.
It will remind you to breathe. And there's nighttime, there's PM yogas that you can do. And I've had a couple of students come back saying, Michelle, it does make a difference. I've tried your PM yoga, just anything off YouTube that's for the evening, for relaxation yoga, makes a huge difference as far as being able to fall asleep, you know. So those are my coping mechanisms that I rely on all the time. And the third one, that there again, my students, and Teresa is my supervisor. Mike has been to my office and has visited me. I have music. I have music going on all the time.
Right.
And music for me is very, very positive. And you can almost tell what mood I'm in by what music I'm playing. You know, so like at the beginning of the semester, I'm playing calm, classical, no lyrics, because I'm busy, I'm rushed, I'm working with my students, and all of us are very, very busy at the beginning of semesters, midterms, and at the end of semesters. You come into my office, it's going to be classical music. You can tell my mood by my music. Music is a wonderful coping mechanism for me. It helps relax me, and with ADHD, I tell my students it also is a filtration system for us. It'll kind of filter what's going on. My office is right next to the bathroom. I don't know if people know, but I can hear the toilets flush. I can hear the fan running. I can hear, which I don't mind. But I just use that as an example that it's music is a filtration system also. So those are three of my positive coping mechanisms that yeah, like Teresa said, that's free.
Yeah.
Anyone can take advantage of it.
And I thought that's where I would wrap up, is just sharing some real free and simple things. Like for me, rocking, I have 4 rocking chairs on my deck. Rocking is really calming and soothing for a lot of people. Not too intense, right? Do it at your own pace. I got a brother that rocks like this, right? But I'm more of a slow, steady rocker. I also brought some of our other free things, the mere act of coloring. I love to color too. Card playing, sketching, journaling, any of that stuff. I like to mess with the Magnadoodle, right? These are not complicated things. It's about distracting your mind from your current thoughts. So think out of the box, try something new this week. I would challenge our students to really think out of the box and try a new activity that can be pretty low cost or free, just to get yourself out of your routine of overthinking and fretting.
And I just wanted to real quick before we close. That's excellent, Teresa. For those of our students who are kinesthetic learners,
hands-on learners,
you know, who are tactile, they have to be moving. That would be wonderful. I never thought of rocking. That's an excellent idea. I've got to be moving to learn. You know, I'm very hands-on. I've got to be moving to be able to process new information, to even recall information to test. So excellent ideas, Teresa. Excellent. Even just for those with that type of learning style. Wonderful.
So as we're heading into the last couple of weeks of the semester, right, things are going to be cranking up in our online learning. We're going to have more tests, papers due, that kind of thing, right? So a reminder too about overthinkers, people with anxiety, right? 50 minutes is the longest you should sit at any length of time to study. So if you study hard and you stay focused for 50 minutes, you should get up,
take a break,
do something physical, walk around the block, walk around the house, go do a load of laundry, come back, take like a 10-minute break, study again for 50 minutes, right? Just a little something to shake up that imbalance in the brain that happens, because your brain starts to freeze up after about 45, 50 minutes, which is why class periods are scheduled for 45, 50 minutes.
Right.
So we gave you some tips today. Do with them what you will. We also were honest with you to say that we too have our struggles, right?
Amen.
We're only human. And so we relate to you about these things because we too have them. And these are things we've tried over our 50 some years of life and work for us. So I hope that they're helpful for others.
And I'm sitting here taking notes, right? So that just shows you that you know, everybody can improve on things they do, right?
I'm gonna go buy a rocking chair. I'm gonna love it. I'll be in constant motion. I'll have one at work. When we get back to work, you'll see one in my office so that I can be in constant motion.
That would be cool. That would be super cool.
Hey, I love you guys.
That was my idea.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Western Iowa Tech students that are listening on, community people that are listening on, faculty and staff, hopefully you can take something from our weekly discussion, and we will be back next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, but a different bat subject. That's Batman.
Great.
All right.
Good plan.
Great.
All right. See you guys.
See you later now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.